This is the Rangers POSTCAST, your instant game reaction for the Texas Rangers, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Well, with one more game remaining on this road trip, the Rangers are still waiting for their bats to arrive. What a tough one again tonight in Seattle. Here we go. It is postcast time in Texas, and we are underway. Welcome into the Rangers postcast, your team every day, and in our case, your team every single game. My name is Jeff Biggs, longtime host and reporter. Thank you for watching Locked On Sports Rangers, your destination after every single game. You can also find us on the Locked On Rangers podcast feed, and that is where you will find the great work every day of Bryce Paterick, who will have more to say about this one tomorrow as well, and this entire road trip before the Rangers return home for what should be a very big homestand with the Angels, who I think now are a half game ahead. They backed in, and also the Dodgers one weekend from this weekend. So lots to get to, but we got to talk about this game tonight. So let's get to it.
This is what you'll be talking about.
Well, as I said, another rough night for the Ranger bats. We'll get into that. Really, it all started very early in this game where the Rangers had just an absolute golden opportunity to not only get their offense going, but also to break the game open when they had the bases loaded and nobody out in the top of the first inning. Had a leadoff walk for Marcus Semien. Corey Seager singled to left. Josh Smith hit an RBI single. That scored Semien. You had Adolis Garcia single to right. The bases were loaded with nobody out. And what happened? Jock Peterson, who is in just a major funk right now, flied out to right. Josh Jung, who ended up having a great game. I mean, a really good game for him, right? With 2 hits, he ended up striking out, and then you had Jake Berger struck out looking, and that was it. And that was pretty much the difference right there. Brian Wu, the Mariners starter, was kind of rocky. He didn't have his command. He was struggling to throw strikes and to get the ball across the plate, and it did not happen. The Rangers had an opportunity there to blow it open. They had the bases loaded, nobody out, only got 1 run, and then the Mariners would come back and go on to score 9 unanswered runs before the Rangers got their bonus run, if you will, in the 9th. But Seattle wins it by the final of 9-2. So we're going to talk more about the offense. We're going to talk about what turned out to be, unfortunately, another tough start for Kumar Rocker, who was kind of rocked in the 4th inning. And I think we'll look ahead to tomorrow a little bit. You have a battle of aces on the mound with Nathan Eovaldi hopefully stepping in and stepping up and being the starter, the stopper in this game tomorrow. But he will go up against the Mariners ace, Logan Gilbert. So that will be a great game. But I'm going to be very, very curious to see what Bruce Bochy does with the lineup. And I think we could see some starters get the day off, and some of the bench guys get an opportunity to jump in there and try to get this offense going. But we'll see. But anyway, that's what we are going to be talking about. As always, we want to hear from you via the comment crew. So please jump in and sound off. I know it's late. It's Saturday night. You got Sunday morning tomorrow. But if you're awake or if you're watching, we would love for you to be a part of the show. That's why we do these shows because we want you to be involved, and we want this live postcast coverage for you to be a part of it. So please jump in and share your thoughts, and we'll get right into it. With that said, we have to get into what was the turning point in this game.
Time to reveal where the game was won or lost. It's the turning point.
Well, as I said, I mean, you could easily say the turning point was the bottom of the first inning when the Rangers had the bases loaded, nobody out, and they didn't score again. They had the one run before that, but unfortunately, last Friday night, the Rangers were able to tie the game and had some momentum late in the game. It was 3-3 before the home run in the eighth inning. That would not be the case in this one tonight because Seattle broke it open with 4 runs in the bottom of the third, and that would be the turning point in this game. Bottom of the third, 1-0 Texas at that point. Crawford gets a single to left. Julio Rodriguez, they give him a triple to center field, even though Leody Taveras kind of missed that one a little bit. But Polanco would hit a sac fly. Cal Raleigh doubled the center. Rosarena walked. Then we had what was originally called a wild pitch by Kumar Rocker. Ended up being a bad passed ball that went to the back, hit the sign on the brick, and then caromed up first base. And I mean, Raleigh was able to score easily from second base. That's how bad that was. And then you had a Raley double to left, and that scored a Rosarena. Bottom line is, in the bottom of the third for Kumar Rocker, he gave up a triple, a double, a single, a walk, had a pass ball, and a sac fly. I guess thankfully he did not give up a home run in that inning, but that was it. Rocker would eventually get pulled in the fourth, and Caleb Bosley would end up making his Rangers debut. Did okay. I thought he had a good arm, decent arm. Not lights out, but I think kind of sneakily deceptive, if you will. I mean, it looked like he was throwing maybe harder than what the gun showed, but he was good. He was all right. Did give up a run, and then of course gave up the 4 runs in the 7th to blow the game open. So that wasn't good, obviously. But we'll see what his role is moving forward. But again, the game was out of hand at that point, and Seattle goes on to win it by the final of 9-2. All right, we're going to take our first and only timeout, and then when we come back, we'll have some thoughts on the Rangers player of the game. Also, we'll look ahead more to tomorrow's finale. And again, we want to hear from you via the comment crew, and I'll have my final thoughts as well. But please be a part of the show, even though it's a tough one tonight. The Rangers fall in Seattle again, 9-2. This is the Rangers Postcast. All right, well, we are talking about what's going on at Game Time and also what is going on at Supply House and everything that they're doing. We've been talking about them, and at Supply House right now, you can get the supplies you need from the site made for the skilled trades. Supply House, whether you're into plumbing, HVAC, or electrical work, Supply House is the reliable way to order products online. Now, their easy-to-use website is packed with helpful resources and the latest product info to help you get the job done right. Plus, with a complete inventory of over 200,000 parts from 400 plus top brands, you'll find exactly what you need delivered fast from coast to coast. If you need help with an order, Supply House offers expert support and industry-leading service, so you will always talk to a real person. And for trade pros looking for an extra edge, their free Trade Master program offers exclusive perks like a dedicated phone line, free shipping, and discounts on every order. Thousands of skilled professionals are already taking advantage. Now it's your turn. Join the Trade Master program today at supplyhouse.com/TM and start ordering plumbing, HVAC, and electrical supplies with just a few clicks. Plus, you can use promo code SH5 for 5% off your first order. That's supplyhouse.com. All right, welcome back to the Rangers postcast after the Rangers fall again in Seattle 9-2. Jeff Biggs, happy to be with you tonight. Unfortunately, the results were not what we were hoping for or expecting. Paul Wilson jumps in. Paul, good to have you back, my man. Paul says, seems to be settling into the 2024 version of themselves. Well, you know what? Tell you what, Paul, when you look at this start, it's I mean, on one hand, it feels like it's been already, it feels like it's been like a month or 2 months, but it's only been a couple of weeks, and the Rangers right now are 9-6. They were in a tie for the best record in the American League. Now they're a half game behind the Angels. But with that said, I'm not gonna freak out quite yet, just because I've seen this movie before, as you have as well. How many times do we see teams that come out and they might play good and hot for a month, the first month and a half of the season, and then reality strikes and they end up, they're 10 games out by the All-Star break, So with that said, though, here's my thought going into tomorrow. It's like, okay, it's been a couple weeks and the season's underway and everybody's trying to get their timing back and trying to get back in the groove. Okay, I get that. But, in the meantime, for a team that was the whole mindset, the whole goal was, the whole mentality was, okay, we won the World Series in 23. Last year, 2024, we couldn't get it going because of the injuries. So the whole mindset was, okay, but this year we're healthy, we're better, we've made improvements, and now we're gonna get after it. And the goal is to get back to the World Series and win it again. Okay, that's great. I mean, that's what it should be. But to your point, Paul, I mean, it's one thing to think about that and to talk about that and say that, but you got to go out and do it, and you have to go out and execute. And right now they're struggling. I mean, there's no way to sugarcoat it. And it's one thing, like I said, it's one thing to be okay. Yeah, I'm just working my way back. But when you lose a game like tonight, when you get blown out on the road in a division game by a team in the Mariners who, what? I mean, they didn't get the memo. I mean, they're a young team with good pitching. This group, they've been together. They kind of started their thing with this core. Right around the time the Rangers were winning the World Series, so they've been in the background. They've watched and they've waited and they've taken their lumps. And so, look, they're not going to roll over, is what I'm saying. So it's one thing to kind of again try to get your groove going, but I mean, at some point, you got to get ticked off, and when you lose and get blown out like they did tonight, 9-2. I mean, you got to come into the clubhouse tomorrow with a different mentality that, okay, this is not just a Sunday game in mid-April. I mean, there's a little something extra with this one tomorrow, and they need to respond and play that way. And so I'm very curious because I know Bruce Bochy. I know there's a part of him that's going to look at it and say, okay, day game. Some guys are struggling. I mean, Jock Peterson is in a horrific slump, so it's an opportunity with the off day on Monday, to give some guys some extra time, like Corey Seager. I wouldn't be surprised at all if he's not out there for sure tomorrow, but who knows? That may not be the case. But anyway, I'm very curious if Boch decides to just put in Pilar, put in Duran, and see what they can do tomorrow, just to try to shake it up a little bit. Again, though, you're going up against the Mariners' ace in Logan Gilbert, so we'll see. But I like I said, it's early, and I get all that. But when you lose like they did tonight, and you drop the first two games, there needs to be a little something extra when you arrive at the yard tomorrow, and I think there will be. I don't think they need me to say that, or they need to hear it from me. I think that will be the case. All right. With that said, and thank you, Paul, for jumping in. Let's get to our player of the game for this one for the Rangers.
This is the Locked On Player of the Game.
All right. Well, I think I don't know. I think since both Josh Smith and Josh Jung have the same first name, I think you can combine it, right, and just give the honors to both Joshes, right? Josh Smith had a couple of hits. Josh Jung had a couple of hits. They both have the RBIs, so why not? I'm sorry, no, actually, Jake Berger and Josh Smith. Josh Jung did not have the RBI, but he did score one of the runs. So anyway, the tough thing too about tonight, aside from the offense, the Rangers had 9 hits, and again Friday night they were 2 of 12 with runners in scoring position. I don't know what the numbers were tonight, but they were not good. Starting with that first inning, but I thought Kumar Rocker, again, it comes down to just command. It was great to see him throw the curve early in the game for strikes, but he was not locating his fastball where he needed to, and the slider was really not working for him. The curve was good at times, but he was kind of all over the place, just trying to find some kind of a rhythm and a feel with his pitches, and it just was not there. And again, in that bottom of the third, second time through the order, I mean, the Mariners just jumped all over him, and so that was it. All right, so I'm not gonna keep banging on this one. It's late, and the good news is the Rangers can go to the hotel, get some sleep, wake up tomorrow, and they'll have a chance tomorrow to get back at it, take on the Mariners ace, and leave Seattle and head back home with a win to avoid getting swept, to avoid the sweep. So with that said, we will be back at it tomorrow. I will be with you after the game. Please join me then. I look forward to it, but tough one tonight. No way to spin it. Rangers have to get after it again tomorrow. The final tonight, the Rangers fall in Seattle, 9-2. This has been the Rangers Postcast.